Okay, so this is the first Netflix film screened at Cannes. Just wondered whether you thought that is something they should be doing more of.
You know, I was kind of surprised by a lot of the drama at the beginning because Netflix has been involved in the movie since day one, and we were amazingly accepted into Cannes to compete. So it wasn't a shocker that we were going there with Netflix. You know, I think that cinema and the way that we view movies has constantly been evolving. It's still evolving, and right now it's the topic of conversation. But what I hope is that at the end of the day, people see the movie and that becomes really the main topic of conversation. And that seemed to be what happened at Cannes once the screening happened. But I think it's amazing what Netflix is doing. It should be commended that they're taking risks on projects like this. I mean, director Bong, a young girl and a pig. A lot of studios probably would say, I don't know about that. But Netflix was like, we're on board. We're not going to mess with your genius. And they really allowed him to do his thing. So that I think is really commendable.
I suppose one of the underlying messages of the film is that the way we treat the animals that we use for food is just not acceptable. I just wondered whether it made you think about your kind of eating habits yourself, lifestyle.
Yeah, I don't really eat red meat anyway. I haven't for pretty much over 10 years. I eat fish and chicken on occasion, but I've always kind of had a quite healthy eating habit anyway, and I've grew up in England, you know, in the countryside, so I've been more aware of where my food came from. But this movie definitely made me more a conscious consumer in terms of products as well, not necessarily just food, because stuff goes into everything, whether it's your hair products, your makeup, or whatnot. So it just made me more aware. And I think a lot of our my male co-stars are full-on meat eaters, but they've said the same thing, and that it's just made them more of a conscious consumer.
What was it like acting to, like, because I assume it was like a massive sort of green blob.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It wasn't a tennis ball, which a lot of people think. It was actually a big, giant, stuffy version of the pig, which had actors inside of it interacting as the different body parts and then as the head. So we really had something to kind of play off of, especially for the character of Misha, because she is best friends with this animal. But yeah, it looked a little strange running around South Korea with this giant gray stuffed pig.
Was it your first sort of experience of doing something like that?
I'd done green screen stuff before, and actually I'd work with tennis balls, which are always the strangest thing. But to this magnitude, yeah. And Eric, the man who created Okja, also created The Tiger and Life of Pi, so he's a complete genius. And he would describe like the skin texture and how the body would move so that we could appropriately act around it, so that when we saw the final product, it looked like it was actually there, which was really cool.
Yeah. What was it like working with Paul Dano?
He's amazing. He's so intense, but also so chill at the same time. I was only female in the ALF group in our film, so I got to really like hang with the guys, and he just really has this interesting balance, like I said, of being super intense, but his character is also weirdly, creepily calm, and he just kind of set the tone for the ALF, and he's just so smart. I like really enjoyed talking with him, and we all had never, except for Stephen Young, we'd never been to Korea, so we were all kind of exploring it together. It was really fun.